Hello YouTube, and to the few people who follow my channel. Today I'm going to be making a video about all of the DIY and art related projects I've been doing lately. I don't have as many projects as I did in the other DIY video that I posted. That one was from a few years ago. I can remake a full video of all of my DIY projects later if you'd like, including the ones that are in the other video. But if you haven't watched it, it's the first video I've posted on my channel. Go watch it if you're interested. Otherwise, I am going to talk about these new projects I made recently. So, I have the one that's taken the longest. I thrifted this jacket at a thrift/antique store, and this is my updated metal jacket. I have a lot of patches I made on it, and some that I got from concerts, some that I cut out from other things, some that I made myself, or painted or used, like iron-on transfer kits, and I have some in the front, some in the back, and some big ones on the sleeves. So on this side I have Draconian. Oh, my light is getting in the way. Okay, so I have Draconian, Want of Sin, which is a local black metal band from a state that is nearby where I live, or the state that I live in. They're a smaller local band. And then Cradle of Filth, Winter Sun, Lacrimus Profander, Candia, and Plague of Stars, which is another local band from the state that I'm in, and Obscura, Carpathian Forest. And here is an up-close version of these ones. And then on this sleeve I have a hand-painted Lethian Dreams patch, which is one of my favorite doom metal bands. They're like an ethereal doom metal band. And on this side I have Delane, Within Temptation, my favorite band Xandria, and I also have a hand-painted Xandria one on the sleeve I'll show you in a little bit. Blackbriar, Pythia, Nightwish, Elysion, Leah, another Lethian Dreams, Trees of Eternity, and Swallow the Sun. And here's an up-close view of all of these. By the way, most of these patches that I'm showing you I made myself with an iron-on transfer kit and images that I printed out of the band logos. I can always do a DIY video on how to do that sometime if you're interested. And then this is the hand-painted Xandria logo I have on the other sleeve. And then on the back, I have this Devil Horns Metalhead hand symbol, which I cut off of an old t-shirt, and I put it in the middle because I thought it was fitting. And then I have Theater of Tragedy, Virgin Black, Ad Infinitum, Death Clock, Epica, Opeth, and then the Birthday Massacre. I have a couple of different patches. These two embroidered ones I got from their concert, and then the one below that I hand painted myself. And then I have a Camelot one underneath, which I got from one of their concerts. And then I have Ethereal Shroud, Dark Fortress, and Nightwish. And here's a more closer view of this one. So yeah, this is pretty oversized on me, but I think I might adjust it, or see if I can try to adjust it so it's a bit smaller. Otherwise, I mean, I guess like a baggy Metalhead jacket isn't like a terrible thing to wear. I can make it work somehow. I really like how it turned out though, and I sewed all of these on myself too. Like I hand sewed every single patch on here. It took a while, it took a couple months, but I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. And then I know that I showed this jacket in the last video, but I've added to it since then, and I don't think I went into detail about all the patches that I have on here. But here's kind of a view of it on the front, and then I added some more stuff on the back recently, and I still have more patches I need to add to the back that I made recently. I haven't gotten around to it yet. So the front, I have some patches and pins on here. The top one is a raven that I drew, and it was on a different t-shirt. I cut it off the t-shirt because I just ended up not using the t-shirt for anything, so I wanted to put it on here. And then Cocteau Twins, which is like a dream pop shoegaze kind of band. And then I sewed some fabric onto this pocket here, and I painted the sides purple. This is some spiderweb fabric, and then this is bat fabric on the top part that I sewed on. And I added these little pins. This one's a butterfly, and this one's just some combat boots. And then I sewed these, it's fabric with studs in it. I've sewed that on, and then I have some more pins here. I have a coffin and some bats. This one is bats. I don't know if you can see that very well. And then I have Depeche Mode and London After Midnight. And the pin on the Depeche Mode one is the album cover for their Violator album. Clandestine, of course. That's one of my favorites. And I sewed the fabric on that's next to the patch. This stuff, I sewed that on right on the pocket. Underneath, I just have a Vampire Hunter D pin because I really like that anime movie, and then I have one of Alucard. It's like art of Alucard from Castlevania. And I painted this spiderweb. It ended up looking a little shitty, but that's okay. It could be worse. And then on this side I have some more pins on the top. Another Vampire Hunter D one, and a Skinny Puppy one. This one I painted purple, and I put the spider pin on it, and I sewed on these studs on the top part. And I have a Munsters pin right here. I sewed on this little bat patch. And then I have a Twin Tribes pin that I got from their concert. I hand painted this Cure patch, and I put that on there. I hand painted the Last Dance patch, and I put it on there with some pins, or not pins, what are they called? Safety pins. And then here's the Frozen Autumn, one of my other favorite darkwave bands. And then I have She Passed Away on the bottom. And then I sewed on these studs in the pocket. And on the top here I have these, like, what are they called? Iron-on decal things. Oh, and on the sleeves, on both of the sleeves, I sewed on these studs because it's hard to wear this with studded bracelets, so I just made the sleeve look like a studded bracelet instead on both sides. Because these sleeves are they're too thick to wear bracelets with. And then on this side I have a Twin Tribes patch that I got from one of their concerts. This is a Boot Blacks patch that I got from the same concert. They were an opening band for Twin Tribes. They're also a goth band. I got this Cure patch, Sisters of Mercy patch right here. She passed away. And then I made this Linnea Aspera one. And then these are just some that I had. I think I got them like a long time ago, but I thought they were kind of cool. This one's just a raven on a skull. And this one's like a moth with like a skull on it. And the art in the middle was already on the jacket, but when I bought it, so I kind of just went with it. So yeah, that's my goth jacket, and I have some more patches that I'm going to add onto the back that I made recently. They're kind of like the metal ones that I showed you on the other jacket. And I'll probably do an updated video whenever I decide to do that. So yeah, so that's another project that I did lately. And then this one, this is a first try. Don't judge me too much on this. So my boyfriend wanted to get me a new blanket for my birthday last year, and he decided to get some fabric so he could try to make one himself with patterns that I would like, but he didn't really know how to do it. So he ended up buying the fabric, and then he was upset because he couldn't figure it out, so I ended up finishing it. He just bought this really soft fabric for the back part, and then on the front part he got this bat fabric, which is really nice looking. And this was before Joann's closed. R.I.P. Joann's. I miss that store already. It had like a lot of really good fabric and craft stuff, and I'm really sad that it closed. But this was from Joann's when they were still open. I sewed the sides together, so I ended up doing that around the entire blanket. I can't really show you the whole thing. It ended up being kind of uneven, but it was good for a first try, and I thought it was a good practice project for me for using a sewing machine on a bigger project. And it's really warm, and it doesn't really matter because no one's really going to see it anyway. It's just another blanket for me to use. So I really like the fabric though, so I don't really care. And then I made this bracelet from scratch. Unfortunately, it's too big for me and I might have to adjust it, but I think it's really pretty. This little charm broke off of some jewelry I had a long time ago, and it's just kind of been in my jewelry stuff for a long time, so I sewed it on the middle. But before I did that, I took some ribbon, this ribbon on the back side, and I cut this little piece and measured another piece of ribbon to be the same size as this one, and then I sewed them together. So I sewed this part right in the middle of the one on the back, and I made sure they were the same length, and I hand sewed that from scratch. You can see on the back the sewing right here, and then I added some hardware on the sides, so these jump rings and stuff that attach together. And then it attaches like a little bracelet, but I have to adjust it, so it's too big on me. It's hard to get on, but it's still really pretty, and I like how it turned out. And then I made this one a while ago. This was a cardboard container that had like cookies in it, but I painted it purple when I was done with the cookies, and I painted the entire thing purple, and then I put some stickers on it, and now I just told a bunch of bracelets in here, and I keep it with my accessories. I think it's really pretty. And I painted this on here. And then, so I used to work, I just recently quit, but I used to work in a sign making place, and I was a sign engraver. And sometimes when I would be cutting material and stuff, or we were making signs, sometimes these extra signs would end up being like extra, or they would be mess ups, and I would take them home so that I could paint them. And I have a bunch of these that I painted. This is an example of a little collage that I made with one of them. It's just acrylic material. It's like stuff that was cut and was supposed to be a sign. So I glued paper on this one, and I cut out these bats and I glued them on, and I made this little collage. I have some more that I just painted and stuff. I don't have them with me right now. Some of them I gave to people as gifts, so I can't really show you those, but I have a bunch more that I want to paint and maybe sell or something at some point, because I don't like the idea of wasting all that plastic. And I think it's a really good material for painting on, so there's a good way to upcycle something. Why not? And then this purse, I think I showed in the last DIY video, but I added studs recently. Finally got around to it, and I touched up the paint. I painted it purple. It was all black before. I found it at the thrift store, and then I hand sewed all these on. So yeah. And I might add like a patch or something. I might add more stuff to it at some point, but I like how it looks right now. And then this isn't really a DIY thing. This is more of a painting, but I just wanted to show it because it's like my favorite right now. I was really inspired by meditation, mindfulness, yoga. I got super into mindfulness and yoga over the past 2 years, and this is kind of a visualization of just like me being at peace, and I visualized like what am I gonna say? Butterflies symbolize freedom, and I really like drawing and painting wings, so I decided to make her have butterfly wings. And the background, her body is part of the background because she's one with her spirituality and peace and serenity, and she's surrounded by butterflies everywhere. She's rooted in her spirituality. That's why her legs are turning into roots here. So yeah, it was just a very personal, beautiful project of mine that I really wanted to share, and I really love it. It's one of my favorite paintings I've done so far, and I really want to continue to make more art like this because this was really inspiring, and I made it from I just like was really inspired by spirituality and my journey with getting into mindfulness and trying to find inner peace. And I feel like I have some more projects, but I was trying to find the ones that I've made recently, so this is all I could find right now. I might do another video later with some older projects. Maybe I'll like redo a video with some of the older projects and explain what those ones are like. I know my old video is a bit awkward. It's like I don't know how to talk to the camera or something. I'm probably not like too much better at it now, but it's okay. I'm still like learning how to do this sort of thing. So yeah, I hope you liked this video and I could inspire you and you liked seeing some of the projects here. I wish I had more to show you right now, but I couldn't really find anything else at the moment. So until the next video, bye.